BTS News Today. A sunny morning greets New York City with gentle sunlight penetrating between skyscrapers. The typical summer atmosphere feels so alive, with the roar of traffic and the footsteps of people rushing through the streets of Manhattan. However, amidst the bustle of the city that never sleeps, there is a pair of figures that steal the attention of many eyes: Jimin and Jungkook. Two BTS members known for their incredible charm can be seen walking casually along the sidewalk, spreading smiles to anyone who recognizes them. Their appearance seems simple but alluring. Jimin wore an oversized denim jacket with a black hat that partially covered his face, while Jungkook appeared casual in a gray hoodie and dark jogger pants, complete with sunglasses that added a sense of mystery. Even so, their star aura still shone brightly, unable to be hidden by anything. Their presence immediately sparked excitement on social media. Photos taken by fans and locals immediately went viral, topping the trending topic in a matter of minutes. Many ARMY fans have speculated that the two are enjoying some free time together before attending to private schedules or secret projects. They were both so happy to see each other, so happy to see each other, and 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 so happy to see each other. They were seen entering a small cafe on a Soho Street corner, a place known for its warm interiors and tempting coffee aromas. Inside the cafe, they sat in a corner of the room, chatting warmly while occasionally laughing a little. A barista who served them admitted that at first they did not realize who they were because of their very relaxed style. But when he realized that Jimin and Jungkook were sitting in front of him, he felt like he was dreaming. They are very polite and friendly. There was not the slightest arrogant impression. Jimin even praised our coffee and asked about the coffee beans we use. He said with a smile. The intimacy and warmth that emanated from their interactions indicated a deep bond of friendship. They've been together for years on a long journey as part of BTS, going through ups and downs, triumphs and challenges. That day, as if to be a clear proof of how their relationship has grown more than just colleagues, they are a family brought together by the same dream. And that day they are enjoying a simple moment that they may rarely be able to feel in the midst of a busy schedule and the spotlight of the world. After enjoying the coffee and cafe atmosphere, the two continued their journey down the streets of New York. They had time to stop by a vintage clothing store, try on some unique jackets and accessories, laugh when they comment on each other's chosen style. Not far away, they were seen taking several Polaroid photos, pointing each other's cameras, and taking turns being impromptu photographers. When one of their photos fell and was blown away by the wind, Jungkook ran a little after him, making some passers-by smile at the sweet sight. The day felt like a small piece of ordinary life full of meaning. Jimin and Jungkook are not standing on a big stage, not wearing glamorous clothes or surrounded by professional cameras. They are just two best friends who enjoy being together, walking in an unfamiliar but friendly city, letting time flow carefree. In the afternoon, the temperature began to drop slowly. A thin breeze blew in, greeting every face walking along the streets of the West Village. Jimin and Jungkook now seem more relaxed. They walk side by side, occasionally joking while enjoying the atmosphere of a different city away from the bustle of Seoul. There was freedom in their steps that day, as if the weight of the world that usually sits on the shoulders of a world-class idol evaporated with the summer breeze in Manhattan. The sky began to gradate golden orange as they stopped at a small garden hidden among classical buildings. The park was not crowded, only a few old people reading books, a few small children playing ball, and a couple sitting on a park bench. Jimin and Jungkook chose to sit on the grass, taking off their hats and jackets, allowing themselves to completely dissolve in the moment. Jimin looked up at the sky with a small smile, then said quietly, almost only to himself, "This is how it feels to be an ordinary person." Jungkook turned his head, looking at his friend with tender eyes. "We are not ordinary people," he replied. "But at least today, no one cares who we are." The sentence hung in the air, enveloping both in peaceful silence. They don't need words to understand how they feel. After years of performing in front of thousands of people, practicing nonstop, receiving pressure from all directions, that day was a gift. Perhaps not from the world, but from themselves, a reward for having survived so far. Jimin took out his phone and opened the camera. He tilted his face slightly, then pulled Jungkook closer. They posed without a plan, just two best friends who wanted to capture a moment they did not want to forget. Shot after shot keeps the story quiet, about the unseen tired, about the simple happiness, about the honesty that can only emerge when no one is watching. The night began to fall. The streetlights began to light up one by one, creating small sparkles among the shadows of tall buildings. New York is changing face into a more romantic and mysterious city. The atmosphere became more serene, and Jimin and Jungkook chose to walk back to their hotel at a slow pace. No big plans, no urgent agendas, just the togetherness they enjoy as time is scarce and expensive. They passed through a street full of small shops and restaurants, stealing glances at the showcases displaying typical summer trinkets. In one of the shops, Jimin stopped and pointed to a keychain in the shape of a Polaroid camera. "It's funny," he said with a smile. Jungkook nodded and walked into the store first, returning a few minutes later with the same two key rings. "One for you," he said, handing the hanger to Jimin. "The other for me, so that we can always remember this day." Jimin received the small object with suddenly teary eyes. He wasn't the type to cry easily in a public place, but that day, something touched his heart deeper than usual. It's not that the keychain is expensive. On the contrary, it may not cost much. But the meaning and who gave it makes that little thing worth more than anything else. Upon arrival at the hotel, they did not immediately go into each other's rooms. Instead, they sat on the balcony of Jungkook's room overlooking the city. From there, the lights of New York seemed like a sea of man-made stars, sparkling and full of illusion. Jimin leaned back in the chair, hugging his knees, while Jungkook poured 2 glasses of the hot tea he had just made. "Have you ever thought," Jimin said after sipping his tea, "that maybe one day we won't be able to do this anymore?" Jungkook did not immediately respond. He stared at the city below, letting the night breeze wash over his face. "Maybe," he said slowly, "but precisely because of that, we have to enjoy every day like this, because no one knows the last time." Jimin nodded. They talked more that night. About the future, about their fears, about those plans that they did not dare to tell anyone. They are no longer 2 K-pop stars adored by millions, nor are they 2 global icons. They are just Jimin and Jungkook, 2 young people from Busan who grew up together under the spotlight of stage lights, and are now trying to find the meaning of life beyond all that spotlight. Time flies fast when you don't think about it. The day changed. The next day, neither of them performed at a major event or attended an important schedule. They again went out, this time visiting the Museum of Contemporary Art. Jimin had always had an interest in the visual arts, and Jungkook happily followed suit. Noticing how his best friend staring at a painting was like reading a poem that only he could understand. After that, they had lunch at a small Korean restaurant in Queens, far from downtown. The owner could not believe it when he saw who the guests were sitting at the corner table. But again, no big camera highlights, no fuss. Only warmth, hospitality, and home cooking remind them of their hometown. Jimin tasted kimchi jjigae and looked at Jungkook. "It's like cooking," she said with a laugh. Jungkook nodded in agreement. Even though he knew nothing could match the taste of his mother's food, still the bowl of soup took them home for a moment, at least in taste.